Where's the beef?
What's up out there, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope all is well with you guys out there on this beautiful Monday night. All is good here. I'm sure some of you may have already came across this story about Tyson Foods just closing their Joslin, Illinois beef plant without warning, cutting at least, more than 2,700 jobs, you see. And it's all about the beef. If you remember the old lady back in the 80s say, "Where's the beef?" Well, Tyson is saying that, there's a beef shortage and they can no longer keep these facilities, running. It's costing too much actually to keep them up, and pay employees. So they gave them their walking papers, and that's not really a good thing, you know what I'm saying, in this economy when people have to have jobs to live, okay? You got mortgages, rent, car payments, all kinds of stuff, and you got so-called good jobs like this just shutting down without warning. So it's going to get rough, people, but I have at least one video I want us to check out, and then we'll get back into the commentary.
A massive development in Joslin, Illinois, where the hundreds of cars you see now on your screen were people who found out that their jobs at the Tyson plant were gone. That breaking coverage stops your news at 10 tonight. Good evening, I'm William Ingalls. The Tyson facility in Joslin is shutting down, leaving more than 2,500 people scrambling. This is the letter those workers got this afternoon confirming the plant's permanent closure. Workers will get paid for the next 2 months, but the job some have leaned on for years is gone. The Tyson Foods plant is located in Joslin. That plant began operations in 1983 under the ownership of Iowa Beef Processors. You can tell by the map it was a central part to the local and regional economy. But why is a company that's called the area home for so long closing its doors with next to no notice? Well, the breadcrumbs were public as of about 10 days ago on the company's earnings call. Tyson told shareholders they expect losses around $650 million this fiscal year in its beef processing sector alone. Company officials claim cattle shortages and high livestock costs are to blame for that massive loss. But that reasoning doesn't do much for the workers who now only have a few weeks to find where their next paycheck is coming from. KWQC's Elizabeth Ruggiero talked to some of those workers who learned their career at Tyson was over.
For decades, the Tyson complex in Joslin has been the heartbeat of this community, but that beat went silent this afternoon. As workers arrived for their shift, they weren't sent to the production line. They were funneled into the cafeteria to receive a letter that many say felt like a betrayal.
People started fighting, people were yelling, people were crying. I know people that have been here for 30 plus years. I know people that have been here as little as 3 days.
Tyson says the decision comes down to economics, rising beef prices, and lack of cattle. But for the 2,700 people who work behind these gates, the why doesn't matter as much as the what now. While they'll be paid through October, the loss of health insurance and steady work is a reality that is starting to sink in.
It's devastating. All these people without jobs, they take medication that costs $300 a month, and insurance don't cover it. Now I have to weigh in on that. I have to watch what I do, I guess. I don't know.
Rita Newton has been with Tyson for 11 years. She says the plant felt like a family that's now being split up for a company's bottom line. Though workers' new contract talks stalled this summer, an announcement like this didn't seem like a remote possibility.
How do you just drop, a bomb like that in a day? People coming in for their shift and, guess what? Go home, no more job. People leaving today from work are getting stopped. Hey, don't come back tomorrow. How do you do that to people?
A company that brought thousands of people down this road every day is expected to be a ghost town by Monday, with no plans to replace it anytime soon. In Joslin, Elizabeth Ruggiero, KWQC TV6 News.
The Tyson closure even got the attention of Governor J.B. Pritzker. While he offered support and resources to the affected workers, he put the blame on cattle prices squarely on the Trump administration between the war in Iran and tariffs. Meanwhile, Republican State Senator Lee Ariano Jr. feels there's a different place to put the blame. He says the Tyson closure is a reflection of Illinois' business climate and believes the state will stay in a tailspin unless changes happen soon.
You know, back in March of this year, the same thing happened to a logistic company in Hendricks County, Plainfield, Indiana. It was a warehouse there, and they claimed that they sent out notices on March 11th and effectively in the month of May that the place would be permanently closed. But there were a lot of people who said that they never got not one inkling of a warning that that warehouse was going to just shut down like that, just like this with Tyson Foods. So, you know, it's always a bad situation to lose a job, but when you never see it coming, that's got to be devastating. And the way it's going now, a lot of these companies are doing this. Now, more than likely, they are actually, you know, they want to blame the Trump administration, and I'm sure it's probably got a lot to do with it, you know, with all these tariffs and stuff like that. I don't know. But I think, you know, they are actually doing this because they want to raise the price of beef. And then, you know, that will also open the door for them to give you some kind of synthetic beef, just like they're doing with this chicken. You know, if you notice, a lot of these boneless chicken places are popping up, you know, and 3D printed. You know, a lot of time they're not telling you, but hey, this is what it is, you see. So they probably be doing the same thing with the beef. I don't know. But they're going to raise the price of beef. You know, there's something they're doing with the poultry and the beef, you know, sector when it comes to meats. Probably pork too, but I don't know about pork because I don't eat it. But I know where we live, you know, a private butcher, custom meats. That's where we always got our meats from, you know. Then all of a sudden, without warning, they were shut down. You see? So we found another place, you know what I'm saying? We got a lot of the chicken from, chicken wings and all that kind of stuff. Went in there one day, the place looked like it was finna shut down. Next thing you know, call back to make an order. They don't even answer the phone, out of order. You see what I'm saying? So this is what it is. There's another place called Fetters Meats. You know, just all of a sudden shut down, you know. And mind you, these are privately owned, you know, meat, you know, markets, you know, whatever, privately owned butchers or whatever. You see, where you can go and get, you know, your meat without having to worry about, you know, all kinds of steroids and stuff like that in it. Growth hormones and all that kind of stuff. And Most High only knows what else, if you know what I'm saying. So there's something definitely going on, and they're moving, you know, the meat industries in a direction that's going to be pretty hard on us. Probably, you know, forcing us to become vegetarians. Who knows? I don't know. But these people that's going through this situation with losing and, you know, loss of their jobs is going to have a hard time because they're running out of jobs. Where else are they going to go? You see what I'm saying? Like places like this, heartbeat of America. You see what I mean? Factories, you know, meat plants and all that kind of stuff, you know. And everybody can't go and get a truck driving job because, hey, a lot of the truck driving jobs work for places like this, you know. Now, they do have other companies, well, other plants in different areas that they do plan on focusing in, you know, their beef products, you know, continuing there. So more than likely that's what they'll probably be doing. But as for Joslin, Illinois plant, closed permanently as of now. So that's just what it is. That's all I got on this one, people. I want you guys to tell me what you think about this particular situation right here. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on it. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, people. Please remember to live your life as though we're being watched. Simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.